Of course, let's acknowledge the key persons who took a grace with great pleasure that I present to you. The parents of our bride, Lenny, Mr. Magno and Mrs. Gregoria Acuña. And the parents of our groom, and Mrs. Maria Cecilia Chu. Congratulations, sir and ma'am. Concepcion Montoya. Okay, a round of applause, please. We have Dr. Luis Pagtakhan and Mrs. Emily Pagtakhan. Mr. Raul Saulog and Mrs. Maria Gloria Saulog. We have Dr. Joy Alvi Arañas and Mrs. Myra Arañas. And Mrs. Gladys Isidro. Lieutenant Colonel Arturo Rojas and Mrs. Dimples Rojas. Mr. Montano Cani and Mrs. Carmen Cani. And last but not the least, Mr. Edgar Paulme and Mrs. Teresa Paulme. Thank you, ma'am. Okay. So, let's go to the younger ones. I'll present to you our groomsmen and their